Hello, what is up, love? Shatecehaynes here, and welcome back to my channel. And for today's video, I'm gonna do another, I think my third HS video. So I've had a few people on my last HS video, which was maybe 3-4 months ago or something like that. A few people have been asking for updates on my HS and how things are going now that I am about 4 months post-op. If this is all new to you and you have no idea what I'm talking about, I will link my other videos in the description box, and I'll also be sure to leave cards throughout the video of what HS is. But basically, if you guys haven't seen those videos, really quickly, HS is a skin condition that kind of leaves boils and cysts and like really gross kind of lesions, I guess, on your body. Typically the parts of the body where the skin rubs together. So under the arms, the groin, under the breast, the buttocks area, all of those things, they're very painful, extremely painful. A few months ago, I had surgery to remove the damaged scar tissue from my right arm. And I'm just gonna be talking about the experience and how things are now that it's been a few months. If you guys are interested in this type of thing, I know that these videos are a little different from what I normally do, and it's not lifestyle or productivity. It's definitely a lot more personal. But I'm very grateful for all of you who have been watching and asking your questions. So thank you. And I have been talking for a while. So with that being said, let's just jump right on into today's video. I had my surgery back on January 25th, I believe. So it's been about 4 months, yeah. And things are much different now. They're much different now. So basically what happened in that surgery, if you guys have seen my first one, or you know what HS is, but you haven't seen that first video or anything, basically what happened was I had a cyst that burst, and I've had HS since I was 15 is when I started getting these. I'm 25 now. So that is 10 years. That's an entire decade of boils and cysts and damaged scar tissue and regrowing. And after so long, I feel like it gets very hard for your body, like I said, to heal itself. So I was just having an open wound from a boil that never healed. The site where I had the boil started like getting bigger because the skin just kept getting infected and the hole just kept opening up. I'll throw a picture on the screen of what it looked like before. It just wasn't healing. The wound wasn't healing. And when you have open wounds on your body that will not go away and won't heal, it makes you very susceptible to getting infections. And that's what was happening to me. I kept getting infections, and the pain was so unbearable in my arm. I felt like no matter where I moved it, no matter what movement I did, even if it was at my side, if I had it out, if I was trying to sleep on it, or if no matter what happened, I was in constant pain. And it was so horrifying. It was so painful. And eventually my friend's mom, who's a nurse, was just like, you have to get this looked at. Like, this is not healthy. Like, your body is getting infected. And sure enough, it was. I had an infection. I'd been on antibiotics for about maybe a couple, 2-3 months, or maybe even longer, on and off. And I got that in January, and now we are 4 months post-op. And I'll throw a picture on of what the wound looked like after the surgery. So this was in the last video, but after the surgery, this is what happened after he cut away all the dead scar tissue. Now, in comparison to how small the hole was, even though it was growing before I had the surgery, and how much he had to cut away once the surgery was over, that was all dead and diseased scar tissue. That's why I was left with very pink, fleshy wound afterwards. What he did was he cut away that dead scar tissue. He put in a plastic graft, and that graft was attached with dissolvable stitches. As those stitches dissolved and the plastic graft kind of fell out, my skin started to growing back as normal skin, which I was not expecting. I had no idea what this was gonna look like, what this wound was gonna look like. I'm actually gonna throw a picture up now of what it looks like now, and holy crap, you guys. I thought it was just gonna be one big waxy, I can actually show you guys now what, if you guys aren't grossed out, but like I was covering my, like, even pictures of like how much the wound was covered, like how much I had to cover the wound because it was so big and it was bleeding so much. just healing and draining. And then to see it now, like now, this is it, you guys. This is all I use. This is what it looks like now. This is my arm now. That's smooth skin, and it was covered in bumps and lesions and tunnels, and like this arm, my left arm is still actually like that. It was never as bad as the right one, but we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, it was covered in so much stuff, and now it is smooth skin. There is still going to be one pretty large scar over like right where the arm folds, where that crease is, but I don't care. Honestly, I didn't care what this was gonna look like. I just wanted the pain to stop. I remember when I was bandaging my my arm one day, and I like noticed how much I could just move, and I was like doing things and just moving my arm in ways like you don't realize how limiting your motion, your mobility is when you have diseases like this or things like this. HS affects so much of your body and your day-to-day life. It really messes with your quality of life. If it's not taken care of, if it's really bad. So anyway, that is basically what the surgery was, what happened, where I was before, right after, and where I am now with how everything looks. So now we're going to get into what a lot of people have been asking about, is the pain. After I had the surgery, I was on short-term disability. Luckily, my job and the insurance and benefits I had with my job allowed me to take 5 weeks off. They gave me 5 weeks of short-term disability where I would continue to get paid for my job even though I was at home. It started healing, and honestly, the pain hasn't been anything since then. Like I said, I can move my arm. There's absolutely no pain. I haven't felt any, oh, damn it, it's raining. Okay, so the audio is going to be a little iffy. I'm right next to a window and it's raining, so let me try to wrap this up. I'm so sorry. Okay, so the majority of the pain I ever felt in this arm was before surgery. After surgery, the only pain I really felt was kind of a skin was growing in. Sometimes I'd be like, oh fuck, and that'd be it. Randomly, I did tear a couple stitches accidentally, and that shit hurt. But that was because I tore the stitches. But actual pain really hasn't been any. He prescribed me Norco for the pain. I was on it for about a couple of weeks, and that was it. I still have Norco pills left. I didn't need them. But I also had a plastic graft. I didn't get a skin graft that needed a location site. I didn't get skin from another part of my body put on me. I just had a plastic graft. And I think just because it was kind of on the surface a little bit, it wasn't really in, they didn't really have to cut deep in, they just had to cut a large area. And I think because of that, I don't really have any pain afterwards. So I'm very grateful for that. Moving on to the cost. Okay, now, y'all, I have insurance, so that's the good thing. But this surgery costs, I will share the billing statement with you on the screen. This surgery cost me over $140,000. $140,000. Now, this, I'm not exactly sure why. I don't know if it's because of the surgery or the type of surgery it was, or where I went or anything. I don't know if it's like this across the board for this type of surgery. I don't exactly know how much the surgery typically costs, but it did cost a bit of money, but this is without insurance. I have insurance through my job. A lot of people I know who talk about this say that they are getting the surgery, or that they, you know, are waiting for their insurance to kick in or something like that. But my insurance paid for, but even with insurance, I still owe them like $3,000. But honestly, owing $3,000 for something that costs over $140,000 is not horrible. I mean, if you don't have it, you don't have it. I understand that point of it too. Everything's expensive when you don't have it. And it is a lot of money. And a lot of people that have reached out to me have talked about being able to afford it, and not being able to get that type of surgery in the country they live in, or how insurance works. And I wish I could, I wish I knew more. I wish I could help. I wish I could know what to say, or who to reach out to, or what to even like research for that type of stuff. Because I feel really helpless, because I don't know how insurance works in other countries. or for people who can't afford this type of surgery. There was a person who reached out to me that said she was gonna try to come to America to get the surgery done, and I was like, oh my God. I didn't have to think about that. I just was able to call up a doctor and see if they took my insurance and get things together over the course of a few months. But it really makes me very grateful for being able to have access to this type of surgery, and I wish I could help in other ways, but I don't know. I don't know how things work in other countries. But that is how, but like I was saying earlier, that is how much it costs me. That's how much I'm paying out of pocket. And that is like the total cost of everything. So the next thing I want to get into is moving forward. So I was told I was going to be on physical therapy, but I think because of just the type of work I do at my job, and just because I have been constantly trying to like stretch and move and getting back into kind of my old life now that I have mobility in this arm, I don't know if I'll still need physical therapy. We'll see when it's completely healed. I was meeting with my surgeon about every 2 weeks since the surgery to check in. I just had my last follow-up, and he was like, I'll leave it up to you. Like, I'm not gonna make you come in every 2 weeks anymore. If you want to, or if you need anything, come on in. But since I think after the 3-month mark, you have to start paying copays again, I'll be good. unless something comes up. Maintenance wise, I'm just keeping it clean, using antibacterial ointment, Neosporin, things like that on the wound whenever I put bandages on it or rebandage it. And that is pretty much it. Just cleaning it, bandaging it. The biggest thing is going to be changing my life, changing my lifestyle habits. This disease is not necessarily something that can be helped. My mom had HS, I have HS. It may be some type of genetic thing. My mom is also a type 1 diabetic, and I'm a type 1 diabetic. That may also have a thing to do with it, who knows? But all I do know is that with between having diabetes, between having HS, and learning that dairy, a lot of you guys said in the comments that dairy causes flare-ups, and I think I can attest to that, because I think I was getting another one on this arm, and then like I took a shower one day and there was just all of it just everywhere, and I was like, oh, I didn't even know oh crap, okay, I did have it, and I had been consuming a lot of dairy. So between keeping low carbs because of diabetes, and keeping away from like dairy because of HS, I think what may be the healthiest thing for me, honestly, is maybe start adapting more of a vegetarian, maybe more of it doesn't necessarily have to be vegetarian. I know I could cut out carbs and just dairy, but just overall, just for my own body and what I think I would like, I think maybe adapting more of a vegetarian, maybe even a vegan lifestyle might be a better option for me. That's definitely something I can't just do. I will need to take some time to get into that and learn and research and adapt and things. But personally, it just comes down to this being a huge wake-up call to take my health extremely seriously. It's not something I've ever done before. But after this, and after just hearing your guys' comments and seeing how a lot of you have changed your lives, and it just really inspires me. You guys inspire me so much. You guys don't even, honestly, you guys don't even know how much you guys inspire me by what you say, the way you guys have helped. I know it is so hard because not many people know about HS. People don't really understand how to, don't understand what's going on. HS is something that can be very embarrassing. You don't want to show people. A lot of people I've heard in the comments, they are going through this and they are suffering in silence. But for anyone who has it, or anyone who knows anyone who has it, or anyone who just wants to feel supported, like, you are so loved, you are so supported, you are so seen, you are heard, you are strong, you are going to get through it. You're going to get through it. So that is all I'm gonna say. That is my third, and honestly, that might be my last HS video update in a while. I may continue on my blog about it. Maybe I'll do like a 1-year post-op or a 6-month post-op, who knows? But yeah, that's how things are going. And that is it. So thank you guys. If you guys stuck to the end of this video, wow. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. I love you all. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you like today's content. I will see you guys next week. Peace.